What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are looking at Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We are going up, man. We're going up. My condolences to the Red Dragon Riders. My congratulations to the Green Dragon Riders. I think it's undeniable at this point that we're in an uptrend. Okay? We've got higher lows, we've got higher highs, and I know that throughout this range, since this low, I mean really since back here, I've been calling for prices to go lower. I said, all the way back here until we had this move here, I said below 185, but above 135. Well, we got that move that took us below 185, and then here I was like, I think that we have lower to go. I still think we have lower to go, even here, right? But things started to change, and I want to take accountability for me not noticing that. I noticed it, but just not really taking it as the warning that it was, that things are changing, right? We broke out of this trend line. We broke out of it. We back tested it as support, and we continued. We even had a partial decline here. If we go onto the pattern site, and you go, let's see, where are you at here? P's, right? P's, right here. Partial decline. A partial decline. This is a partial decline where you have a descending trend line and you can't touch it. That's the characteristics of it, right? I think he says it's only in broadening patterns. I don't think that that's true. I mean, I think just out of any trend line that you find, you can have this, and that the same kind of idea applies. There's so much buying pressure or eyes on this line that the market makers or the participants in the market, whoever it is, just for whatever reason, we don't go down there. That's a bullish sign. Sorry, that's a very bullish sign right there. So I do think, you guys, I do think that the downtrend's over. I do think that we're going to go higher from here. I don't know if we go up higher immediately, and that's what we're going to go over right now. I am moving my buy order. You're hearing it correctly. I'm moving my buy order at 145, and I'm moving it up. I'm moving it up quite a bit of a ways. I'm moving it up all the way to $200 because that is an area. I might even move it up to 205, honestly. But if we take this closing high into consideration, this was the previous area of resistance. We might come down. It is still possible to go down below $200, and I think that we can. But I might move my buy order up to 205 because it's not in me to try to catch the exact bottom. I want to try to catch around it. And I have bought some Bitcoin Cash. I had a few buy orders hit with this move down, but my biggest order definitely has remained untapped. So with the remaining dry powder that I have, I'm planning on buying lower. And guys, we're still at a relatively good price, good price, good place to buy Bitcoin Cash from top to bottom here of this overall move. We are still below the 50. We've wicked above it, but we're below the 50, which means out of half of this move, we're still on the lower half. Oh, so barely right now, but we are on the lower half still. So it's still relatively a good time to buy. I wouldn't buy here, and I've said, since the past few days that if we were to make a move up here, maybe I even said it back here, but if we were to break out of this and have higher highs, that I wouldn't chase that, I wouldn't buy that, I would wait for a pullback. And we could go up higher from here, we could go lower from here, but it's not in me to chase. Sometimes it is, but it's rare exceptions for that, or just nerves and emotion, but that doesn't really happen too often these days. More oftentimes than not, I'll let it do its thing, and then when it pulls back, even if it pulls back to a higher price than it is now, I'd rather buy that pullback than potentially buy a top and then watch this thing, turn around and go all the way to like new lows. And that's kind of a joke. I don't expect it to go. I really don't expect the price to go below this low. I don't even expect it to go below that low, honestly. But I do think that it's completely possible that it could go below 205, below 200 even. But I want to take something, talking about going below this low. Even though I made a joke about this here, I want to go over something that we have experienced in Bitcoin Cash's history before, right? The last bear market that we had, we came out of this accumulation phase. We had a nice move up, and then we moved down for quite some time. We found our low. We found our low here. We had new highs with this big bullish move up. We even continued to go up a little bit. But then what did? We pulled back. Okay, so if you bought at this breakout, at the closing point, which we're basically at right now, right, the equivalent to that, you could have bought anything from like 15% lower, maybe 8% lower, just a little bit lower, like whatever. You could have bought lower than that still. And we continued to go higher from there. But then we crashed all the way back down and we had lower lows. I don't expect this to happen. It is possible. It is possible. It's happened before. Even if it didn't happen before, it could happen. It's possible. But when did this happen? This was March of 2020. This was when the lockdown happened for COVID. So a black swan event, kind of like a global, what might have inevitably been a higher low was actually a fake out low. And then we just accumulated for a while, right? Bitcoin Cash itself did not do much after that. It moved sideways for quite some time. And then again, here, looking at it, just to kind of keep this fresh in your head, we had a higher high on this week. We closed. If you bought there, well, you would have missed out on the opportunity to buy. Again, if you bought right at that close, you would have missed out on the opportunity to buy 38% lower, maybe 10% lower, 20% lower, whatever. We had, guess what? Another high, a higher high on this week, and then rolled over. That was a 43% drop right there. Another high up here. This was not a higher high, but this week was. If you bought the higher high, you could have missed out on buying lower, which guess what? It went back to where this high was. So all I'm trying to say, guys, is if you're feeling eager to buy now, this is not financial advice. Go ahead and buy. We're still below 50% of this overall move. It's relatively a good time. Bitcoin Cash, you guys, is below. It's below $2,000. It's a good time to buy. Okay, we're still in 10x territory right here, even 100x territory for Bitcoin Cash. It's not a bad time to buy, but there might be a better time to buy coming in the horizons, right? I think that seeing these moves like this and then expecting a higher low to come in is not far-fetched at all. Now, looking at the daily, I really do feel like I had my head in the sand because we broke out of this trend line. We were doing things differently than we've ever done before, right? We rejected this. Whenever we had a lower high here, we went straight down. We went down. We went down, 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 down. This time we lingered. We even bounced off of this previous area's trend line, and everything was different. I feel like I had my head in the sand. To add to that, we bounced off the 50 on the daily RSI. We had a double bottom. We have a double bottom on the weekly RSI as well. So I think things are more bullish than I had previously given them credit for. And I do think this weekly at the moment wants to get into this overbought zone. At the moment on the daily, we are so slightly in the overbought zone. But when we've done this, we've been in the overbought zone so slightly and then rejected, right? Coming up and then rejecting. This time over here, we did go a little bit higher, but look at this, right? If you bought this high here, it did go a little higher, but then it came all the way back down. But then here, it even went lower than that. Like we could, and this is toward the end of the bear market, so I don't really expect it to perform like that, but just further leaning toward the idea that buying here might not be the best case scenario. Even though we're overbought, even though we're showing strength in the RSI, this might take more time to play out than just right now, today. So patience is key. Even if it's not going to 145, patience is key. This trend line that I was hoping we would avoid bouncing off of, I'm now kind of like hoping that we bounce off of it, right? If we were to go that low right now, on today at least, that would take us all the way down to 192, 193. If we were to have some major red candle down, 193, we're still in good shape. But maybe over the days, we kind of slowly move our way down, as we've been doing, right? Slowly move our way down and then come up. Maybe we don't even touch that line. Maybe we do, whatever, but a low like that would be around like 207. I might move my buy order up, man, honestly, but maybe we move a little bit more directly down. I think it is possible to take this low out. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be very surprised if we took this low out, and I'm not even considering that we're going to take that low out. Again, we have done things like that, but the time that we did that last time was during COVID. Different market conditions right now. Things aren't the best economically in the world, but different market conditions entirely still. And at the moment, we are in an uptrend. We're definitely in an uptrend. If we're looking at this RSI, kind of looks like on this like ascending line here, we're at like the peak of this. So turning around and finding another higher low, both in price and in the RSI, wouldn't be too out of the norm here. Even if we went below this, we had a higher low in the RSI but a lower low in price. That's hidden bullish divergence. That would mark continuation to the upside. So be on the lookouts for that. Let's see. Or no, I'm sorry. A higher high in the price but a lower low in the price would actually be bullish divergence, classic bullish divergence, not hidden bullish divergence. I'm sorry. It'd be kind of weird, but nonetheless, I think taking out this low would not break it. You know what I mean? I really think taking out this low would start to not make sense, but really this low, the idea of a double bottom could be there, but I'm really not even expecting that we take out that low. Okay, before I continue on this like endless loop of repeating myself, let's look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour itself has been in the overbought zone for a little while. Some of the strongest readings we've actually seen since this move over here. But this is like earned. This was just like a flash move here. This was like earned. We've been marching up here. So this, I really take this as a sign that things are done moving down, guys. We're definitely in an uptrend. Red dragons have gone to bed. It's time to put them to sleep. It's hibernation season. Green dragons have come out to play. If we're looking at this from this relative low here to this high, you know, coming back down, even to the sweet spot here, again, below this low, around 200 to 196, shouldn't be out of the question. Coming down to the 382 at about 213, 214. It's very common to wick below your 382. You know, you can hold this as an area, but you can wick below it. You can even close below it, whatever. You know, we've disrespected the 382 on other time frames a lot lately, so don't pay too much mind to that. But I would say that once we're below this number here, once we're below about 213 and 50 cents, I would say it's buying time. It's definitely buying time. And I'm going to layer some orders personally between about 200 and 210, probably with a main focus on 205, honestly. That's what I'm going to do. Until, you know, if things look like they're going to move up and I have to adjust that, I will. I'll keep you guys posted, you know, as I do. But at the moment, again, I'm getting ready, guys, for buy orders that are going to last the cycle. I'm not going to be playing with this money. This isn't for trading. This is for, you know, I'm waiting. This is going to be sitting on it for like 2 years, basically 2 years, right, till the end of the bull cycle. So maybe a year and a half, depending on how things go. Probably more than a year, but 2 years is what I'm thinking, right? We're not even past the halving yet. So the 4 hour itself, you are building volume. On the daily, you are building volume as well. It might be harder to see like that, but you can see volume is building as you're going up. All good things, all good things. If we turn around here, it's not the end of the world. It's actually very normal, right? For Bitcoin Cash to form higher highs and then turn around, it's very normal. So don't be too thrown off by that. Again, this from this low to this high here, the 618 to 69 is right there. From this low here to this high, the 618 to 69 is at about 215 to 212. So again, that 213 to 215 area is going to be, I think, somewhat significant for support potentially. But it really wouldn't surprise me to come all the way back down to this area of resistance here, which again is just like right there around 200. So there's a lot going on here as well. We might be finding resistance here at a previous area where we found support, and then going lower, but that's really all I have to say, guys. You know, things are different. Things are different, and I concede. I tip my hat to the Green Dragon Riders, and, you know, I humbly hope that people aren't too turned off by the fact that I was wrong. You know, I will be wrong again and again and again, you guys. It's not the last time I've been wrong. It's not the first time I've been wrong. I was calling for us to move down throughout all this range, and I was calling for us to move lower after we hit this after we hit the spot that I was talking about already. So, you know, right and then wrong, and then maybe I'll be right and then I'll be wrong, or maybe I'll be wrong and then I'll be right. But one way or another, I am planning on catching this move to the upside. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about risk management. And I just don't think that buying this higher high right now is good risk management. I think waiting for a pullback is better. You know, even if it's 5% lower, 10% lower, whatever, I think that's fine. Let's see actually what that would be. Down to about 210. Let's just say 210. That's about an 8% difference. You know, down at 200, that's about a 12% difference. A little voice in your head might be saying, well, if it's only 12%, it's only 8%. Like, screw it, just get in now. You know, that little voice has gotten me in a lot of trouble, so I don't listen to it anymore. If it helps you out, if it does well for you, you know, go for it. This isn't financial advice; it's just my opinion. But whenever I hear that little voice say, "Well, it can go lower. Who cares? I'll just put in money anyways. I'm buying it for the long haul." You say you don't care, but then it dumps 8% on you, and you're like, "Damn, I could have bought lower." You know, so patience. Even though we are now in an uptrend, patience for the buy. I've made it clear that I was not going to buy on the breakout, and I'm still feeling that way now. But definitely, guys, things have changed. This low has become that much more real. I don't think that this is a fake move. I think this is the real deal. It all fits, man. It all really does fit, and I think it just makes sense. You know, we could go below this low. I doubt we go below this low. I very much doubt we do. And furthermore, I think that is the low itself. So be prepared, you guys. I don't think things are going to move up immediately, but I do think that things are on their way to moving up. And we're still in a relatively good time to buy. Even if you buy here, it's still a relatively good time to buy. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for coming, and I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.